it's already been a very funny weekend for weather here at Thruxton. We've gone from flooding on the tarmac and torrential rain 1 minute to glorious sunshine and burning heat the next. Who knows what the weekend holds in terms of weather, but we're here for round 5 of the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship. We've got 3 races on our programme this weekend, and we plan to bring you the very best of the action from those 3 races over the next half an hour. There are 75 points up for grabs then this weekend on 3 races. Sean Hegarty's 48-point lead could evaporate, or he could extend it massively. Let's have a look at the table. We're halfway through the season. 48 points might seem a lot, but I tell you, there's a long way to go. And double points in the final round. Lovelock in a strong position in second. Peach going well. Edwards, Chaplow strong in 5th. He's riding very, very well. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes there right behind him. Grabmuller's retired. That gives Holden, Horsepole, Drown and James the chance to move up. Well, a departure from normal proceedings here. Because of the weather, the crews have been invited to do 1 lap behind the pace car to determine their tyre choice. This is going to be really interesting because the sun is out. Thruxton dries very, very quickly indeed. Most of these crews went out on slicks. Are they going to stay with slicks? Are they going to go to wets? You can see them all coming in. There, Sean Hegarty going through already on slicks. He is the pole position man. Ben Holland went on full wets. You can see the wet tyre on the back of Holland's. I'll be very surprised if they don't change that for slick. It's going to be a lottery. 8 laps this race. Let's get it going. It's going to be fun here, but it's drying very, very quickly. Not only does the Thruxton circuit dry quickly, it's also very abrasive. The 2.35 miles, the fastest track in the country that the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship visits. And from pole position, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto are going to have to defend the inside line because already through has gone Sean Hegarty. He was quick. He was out of the tracks like a rat there. Hegarty then leading, and look at Andy Peach. Charlie Richardson there holding down the 3rd wheel as they flick it into the left-hander. Almost contact, so Lovelock from pole position is now in 3rd. Up into 2nd has gone Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on the L&W BMW. Gary Horsepole in the background with James Connell coming down from Scotland, having his first visit to the Thruxton circuit. First time he saw it was yesterday in practice, and he had a few Scottish expletives. Right then, Peachy looks as though he's out of it. There's a hand in the air there as Lovelock went past. So Andy Peach on the all-black outfit on the left appears to have been retiring on lap 1. That's given Lovelock the opportunity and a bit of clear track, but look how far Hegarty is. The dot in the distance, Sean Hegarty and James Neal. Looking back from Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood at the 73 outfit of Chaplow and Patrick Farrance. Team EA Motorsport Kawasaki, and already Ricky Stevens going past Stephen Kershaw and Rob Wilson. Number 29, Steve Kershaw on the Blink Body Suzuki, is having an absolutely terrific season. Ahead of him then Ricky Stevens, you saw the passing move. Ryan Charwood doing a great job there. This track extremely hard on passengers. We saw half a dozen in trouble last year, but 8 laps should be okay, I would have thought. It's still the best part of 18 miles. And there's your running order. Edwards and Barrett in 3rd, ahead of Stevens and Charwood. The sidecar wheel just pawing the air there as Sean Hegarty threw it in to the left-hander, heading out now round the back. They do about 135, 140 miles an hour. The left-hander there of Noble, then coming down round towards Goodwood and then into Village. Round they go. They're at Village. Now Church, and then the long climb, 5th gear here, up Woodham Hill. We're at Church now. So round they go, past the still sign. Now down the drop, it drops momentarily. They hook 5th and then 6th and climb up Woodham Hill at 155 miles an hour towards the braking zone of the club chicane, stamping it all the way down. 2nd gear maximum here. Some of the crews drop to bottom, but it's 2nd gear, the left-hander, then the right-hander. 2nd, short shifting along the straight towards the right-hander of Allard. So almost the start-finish straight advantage over Lovelock. Edwards and Barrett in 3rd, Ricky Stevens in 4th, Chaplow, the 73, ahead of Stephen Kershaw. So he has squeezed his way past the Scot. But Steve Kershaw very much in touch, considering he's riding a Suzuki, which we all acknowledge is pretty much outpaced these days by the Kawasaki's. Kershaw's not giving up, he's giving Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance a run for their money. Patrick Farrance, of course, World Championship winning passenger and Isle of Man TT winning passenger this year, as a matter of fact. So hugely experienced Patrick Farrance. And I don't only suspect, I know that he is a tremendous asset to the number 73 Team E8 Motorsport and Craig Chaplow. They value his presence in the team hugely, and you can see how that's reflected in Chaplow's determined riding style. Back on board with the leaders, looking over the shoulder of James Neve. These two have gelled so well, and there's a hand in the air here. There's a wave in the air from James Neve, and they're slowing. Hegarty has a problem. The race leader has a technical problem. They're still on target. They're coming. They're into pit lane. They're into pit lane. New race leader, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. Are they on target for a third victory? Here they go. I say a third victory this season because Hegarty has been absolutely dominant. Kershaw locking horns again with Chaplow. And right there in their wheel tracks, Gary Horsepole, number 32, on the ex-Tim Reeves Suzuki LCR with James Connell. As I say, the Scot came down to ride with Gary Horsepole. He's never been to Thruxton before, but he's getting a good part of the action here. Horsepole going from strength to strength as well. A lot of big sponsors here this weekend, having a look at everybody. And why wouldn't they be? Look at Kershaw. Kershaw taking the long way there and left the door open almost for Horsepole, but it's Chaplow, 73, still ahead. Steve Kershaw and Rob Wilson. Rob Wilson was one of those passengers who struggled here a little bit last year, but he's been training, he's fit, he loves it, and he's feeling relaxed. Race leader. This will do him a world of good, because without Hegarty scoring, and we saw Hegarty retire, do not know what the problem was, but it was mechanical, clearly. This is 25 points that will nibble away at that gap. 48 was the margin when they came here, so it'll be just 23 points going into the next race. The two outfits out of the Assured Office Solutions awning have been locking horns all the way through this race, but they've changed. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, the black helmeted pair, are now ahead of Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett, both relatively local. Stevens from Portsmouth, Edwards from Ringwood. They spend a fair bit of time here at Thruxton. They both go well, both on the podium last year and looking for podium places this year. Which one of those AOS crews is going to get it? The race leader, though, by 8.6 seconds over the runner-up spot of Stevens and Edwards. Well, they're both heading for a podium at this rate, so that'll be great news for the local boys. In fact, they're all pretty local. Lovelock is from Marlborough. The same cannot be said, of course, for Aki Alto, who catches a plane from Finland each and every week to partner his Wiltshire driver. And here they are, and now they're closing up. Edwards is closing the gap on Ricky Stevens. Way, way back, though, it's Steve Kershaw in fourth place on the final lap. So Steve Kershaw has got the better of Craig Chaplow, who's actually now under pressure from Gary Horsepole, the number 32 crew, pushing well. The yellow helmeted Gary Horsepole awaiting the return of his regular passenger, Paul Napton, who suffered ankle injury in the Isle of Man. And our best wishes go to him. Come on, Paul, get well soon and get back in Horsepole's chair. Not that Jimmy Connell is not doing a good job, I can tell you. In fact, he's doing a cracking job. But fourth place, this will be a career best in this championship for Stephen Kershaw if he can stay there. And it looks as though he's well on his way to staying there. This the battle now for the runner-up spot. They're both in podium places, but Ricky Stevens has got it. Mark Edwards wants it, and he's alongside up Woodham Hill towards the chicane. Already through the chicane is Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, but which of those AOS teams is going to get the verdict for the second step on the podium? Let's wait for them to come into sight. The checkered flag waving for the race leader, and here they come. Who's got it? It's Edwards. Mark Edwards has got it just over Ricky Stevens on the last lap, but both crews on the podium. Look at the delight in their camp and on pit wall. Wonderful. Steve Kershaw, Rob Wilson fourth, Chaplow Farrance fifth, sixth for Horsepole and Connell. but a super victory and 25 points in the bag for Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. Well, 10 seconds was the gap, but what a great fight that was. Nothing to split them, 1/10 between the two places on the podium. Behind him, Kershaw, Chaplow, Horsepole, you saw that battle. John Holden rode well. Ben Bygrave, Justin Sharp there in 8th place. Holland had a disastrous qualifying, all sorts of engine problems, but they got 11th. Well, terrific. Sean Hegarty broke down with a broken lanyard, something as simple as that. A little piece of kit like this cost Sean Hegarty the victory there, but, you know, one man's misfortune is another man's good fortune. A brilliant second victory for you this year. Roger Lovelock, Aki Alto. Fast pace, but what a great win.
Yeah, real. It's nice to have a win, but not a real nice way to win it. I mean, shame for Sean, but I mean, we've grabbed a few points back, but I mean, that's racing, but if it would have been in the boot, would have been on the foot, I would have been gutted, so I do feel for him.
Well, Roger said a few points, but the lead was 48. You've now taken 25 out of that, so it's really closing up at the top.
Yeah, it's getting close, and I think we have a good chance of making the gap even smaller as the weekend progresses, so I hope we have a good weekend.
Well, smiles all round and a podium without Sean Hegarty. It's hotting up here at Thruxton. Don't go away, we'll be back. Welcome back to Thruxton. We did in fact have a second race yesterday afternoon, which wasn't covered, but gave us a whole new look to the grid. Roger Lovelock won that one as well. Sean Hegarty from the back could only finish 4th, but it was a tremendous fight through the field. But a surprise second place in that was Ben Holland and Lee Watson. So they start ahead of Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett in second on the grid. Hegarty starts from 4th, but pole position man, Lovelock and Alto. Is it going to be 3 in a row here for Roger Lovelock? And he started in strong fashion. Hegarty placed in 4th, where his grid position was. Mark Edwards getting stronger by the minute. And Ben Holland already being passed by Sean Hegarty and James Neave, so up to 3rd now. And I have to say that after race 1, Ben Holland's father John worked tirelessly through the night to sort the engine out, and look how quickly it was going. It got them second yesterday. Can he go one better today? The number 60 Finning Cat Kawasaki of Ben Holland and Lee Watson there in 4th behind Hegarty and Neave, who know that they've got to reel the leaders in. The points gap between Hegarty and Lovelock coming into this race, just 11. So coming here with a 48-point lead, Hegarty's lead has evaporated to a mere 11, almost single figures. Looking back at Chaplow, Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood. They're looking over Ryan Charlwood's shoulder now at Craig Chaplow and Patrick Farrance, who again riding so solidly, stand to consolidate their championship position of 5th and maybe even improve at the end of this race. 8 laps again in the sunshine here. Stevens into pit lane, so Chaplow catapulted up one more place. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, so only one Assured Office Solutions Kawasaki on track, and it's in the very capable hands of Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett riding number 8, the fluorescent number 8 on the red and white helmeted fairing. And closing on the back of them now, Sean Hegarty and James Neave with work to do here. Hegarty a retirement in race 1. A fantastic fight through from the back of the grid in yesterday's afternoon race, race 2, to finish 4th. But the man in front on the Driver Wolf Laxton Sport BMW, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, is making hay here in the sun at Thruxton. On lap 2 of 8, it's retirements galore. There's the Stevens outfit. Behind him, you can see Santander Salt, Roger Body and James Wynn. And ahead of them, it's John Holden and Andy Winkle. So 3 outfits all parked together, and we're only on lap 3. This is where the scrap is at the moment, though. Hegarty desperate to get past Mark Edwards to close down the man ahead of him, who is now sitting in the 25-point position, and round the outside into the chicane. A superb braking move, the block pass, the traditional block pass. Sean Hegarty is now up to 2nd. His father, Sean Senior, has been working diligently on that outfit, and as he said to me, a broken lanyard, a cutout. There's a very small rope they have attached to their body somewhere, so that if the driver and the outfit part company, the engine is automatically killed. It's something that they've stolen from the world of powerboat racing, basically. Look at Hegarty throwing caution to the wind and throwing his bike sideways in his efforts. And he has to say, he freely admits that his Suzuki, he's probably going to change engines next year, his Suzuki is not as quick as that BMW ahead of him, the one you're looking at, so he has to ride the wheels off it to even stay close, never mind get to an overtaking position. Round they go again into Church, round the right-hander. This is fifth gear at this point, about 130 miles an hour, then pulling fifth, hooking sixth, up to 150, 155, and is Hegarty going to go for him on the brakes? Lovelock will know, because his pit board will tell him that he's got a very, very slim margin over the man who has won so many races and been almost dominant in the 2014 season. Oh, there it is, +0. Took the words out of my mouth. He's on you, mate. He is on your tail, and he wants to get by. 3/4 race distance. We're on it now. Lovelock and Alto, the BMW. Under huge pressure from Sean Hegarty, whose track craft and riding skill almost second to none. He's just hunting him down now. Looking right, looking left. Is there a way through here? They're going out towards the country now. There's a gap. There's a good gap. And Hegarty, oh, he's touched. There's smoke. Disintegration. The outfits are locked together. Hegarty and Lovelock. Oh, my goodness me. Push sideways. They free up. Eventually, they were on the grass. There was debris flying everywhere. Neither of those outfits has a wheel arch. Hegarty's wheel arch is gone. If they are not black flagged when they go over the start-finish, I'll be astonished. They're both retiring. Alto has got his hand in the air. Neve has got his hand in the air. So that terrific action-packed duel at the front has resulted in carnage. Bits of Lovelock's outfit, bits of Hegarty's outfit, 2 wheel arches there. And now Holland is past Edwards. They must have seen what was going on there. They must have seen. He's in the lead. Holland is in the lead now. Of course he is. What am I talking about? The 2 leaders have gone, so we have a new race leader. Let's have a look again. Was this a racing incident? I think it was. It was Hegarty just going for the gap, and there was a gap. There was seriously a gap. I think he's unsighted by Roger Lovelock, who doesn't know he's there, who moved across to get to the racing line from the left. They're both on the grass. That's 135 miles an hour. Miraculously, they stayed upright. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And look at Edwards and Holland. Mark Edwards will have been thinking, oh gee, because that was close. What's going to happen? Is this going to be handbags at dawn? Sean Hegarty walking across to Roger. A pat on the shoulder, a bit rueful. A shake of the hand, I wonder. Is it going to be a handshake? Well, Roger Lovelock had a lot to lose there. Sean Hegarty went for the gap. In fairness, when he went for it, there was a gap. He was unsighted by Lovelock, and it's drama all the way. And what has that done for the championship? We've got a new race leader, the Finning Cat Kawasaki, runner-up in yesterday's race, which we didn't cover, and now they're heading for the top step of the podium. You can see that thing is boiling there. So there's fluid spraying out of the BMW. That's the BMW by the tall air boxes. So that sustained some serious damage there. Radiator damage, clearly. And look at the contact again. The bike's just tearing themselves to bits. And oh, damn, I shouldn't laugh. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. But certainly, as I've said earlier in this program, one man's loss is another man's gain. And in the case of this race, 2 men will gain and profit. Ben Holland and Lee Watson to the top step of the podium if they can hold it all together for the remainder of this lap. And another podium for Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett, who have ridden sensationally for Team AOS. They needed this, these boys. The boys in yellow and black needed it. Kawasaki plays Kawasaki. I've totally lost track of who's in 3rd place, but it's looking as though it's going to be Craig Chaplow, I would imagine, at this point in time. Need a capture, but I'll get it soon enough. Heading now for the checkered flag. First victory in the series for Lee Watson. In fact, first victory as a pairing for those two. And how they need that. There's your third place. Chaplow and Farrance, well deserved for Team EA Motorsport. Ben Bygrave and Justin Sharp collect fourth, and a terrific fifth for Gary Horsball and Jimmy Connell. Sixth place, Simon Gilbert and John Allam. But a delighted Finning Cat Kawasaki pairing. Lee Watson waving to the crowd. Ben Holland, all that midnight oil spent was worth it. There it is. 0.6 of a second from Mark Edwards, or 6/6 Chaplow, Bygrave. That was a good battle for Bygrave, Horsball and Gilbert. Nothing in it between those. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes, they were here for the first time. They were there in 7th. Rupert Archer collecting more solid points. Sean Hegarty, look at the DNFs, a whole raft of them. Craig Chaplow, Patrick Farrance, I for one am absolutely delighted to see you. What a race that was. Eventful, but you'll take that, won't you?
I certainly will, yeah. First ever podium in British Championship. Patrick was just saying it's been 6 years since he's been on a Formula One podium, so I'll take that every day of the week, thank you.
You've been getting quicker and quicker. You've gelled together, you two. The team have put a huge investment in this year. It's all paying dividends.
Yeah, we've got fantastic backers. I mean, Mickey and Glenn from EA, they've just done everything this year to help us get to where we are now. They've put all the investment in, and hopefully the hard work's starting to pay off now, sort of halfway through the season. And yeah, finally on the podium. That was our goal at the start of the season, was to get a podium.
Absolutely fantastic top step of the podium. Ben Holland, Finning Cat Kawasaki. Lee is so excited, he's gone off to celebrate. That was terrific. You saw all the drama. What did you think?
It was a little bit too far in front of me to see it, to be honest. I just saw the yellow flags being waved and, you know, a load of grass everywhere. I saw both bikes were still rolling along, so, you know, I'm glad to see they're both all right. It was a little bit of luck. It finally played into our hands. The bike seems to be working perfectly well at the moment, and hopefully this is going to be the turning point for us.
Well, we didn't get to talk to Mark Edwards, but they were thrilled, obviously, it goes without saying. And 160 points, they're doing very, very strongly. Chaplow moves up to 4th ahead of Ben Holland, who has recovered massively ahead of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, who had a dreadful weekend by their standards. It's the luck of the game. It's all racing. Horsepole going strongly as well. Grab Muller slipping back, of course, because he ain't competing anymore. Gilbert, a good ride for him in that last race. We do it all again soon in Donington. Great. There's an old cliche in this business, it ain't over till it's over. And I think this weekend at Thruxton, we've seen just how unpredictable F1 Sidecar racing can be. The championship is closed up. We've had drama galore. We move on to the next round from Donington. Round 6 then from Donington Park. A couple of weeks away. We'll be there. Don't miss it.